friends, welcome to Social Media Basics for your Mary Kay or direct sales business. If this content blesses you, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel so you get all of the relevant things, and let's talk more about getting started on social media. Okay guys, I have 5 do's and 5 don'ts for social media basics. You might be a new consultant who is just starting their business and you're like, I don't even understand how to get started in a Mary Kay business or in a direct sales business with social media. You might be a seasoned consultant who's just looking to kind of up their game. So I'm going to give you 5 do's and 5 don'ts here in a minute, but I want to share my story. Okay, so I have been in the company for 21 years. So I've been doing this a long time. So obviously, like, I started my business before social media was a thing, and then it was a thing, and then it was more of a thing. And as it became more and more of a thing, I kept resisting it more and more. Okay, so it's getting bigger and I'm getting smaller within social media. And here are the things I want to share these with you because this might be you right now. I used to say things like, yeah, I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to share like every little piece of popcorn and, flavor of gum that I'm eating online. Like, what's the point? Like, I'm not doing that. And I do find when I talk to a lot of new people, they'll say, oh, I got off Facebook or I got off Instagram because I don't want to share like my entire life. Okay, first off, that is not what social media for your business is meant to be. Okay, so I'm going to give you some clues and ideas on how to do that, but like that's what I used to say. Okay, I also used to say, oh yeah, that's social media stuff. Well, that's for her, her, the younger ones, the tech savvy ones, like that's for her. That's not for me, but that's for her. So good for her, but like that's not for me. And so I was not on social media really at all. Besides, I don't know, I would post really kind of boring pictures of my kids or whatever because I do have family all over, so you'll see some of that on my social media too. But yeah, I didn't post, so that there you go. That's a super fun one. I also used to say I don't even know, what's the point? There's just no point to it. I don't sell product that way. I sell all of my product and build my clients and meet team members at parties. Like it's not important. Like doesn't matter. I don't need to be on social media. Like, and there's some truth there. I did build a business prior to social media even being a thing. I built a very successful business, but y'all, times are changing. Okay, so here are some things that I want to share with you about what changed in me. Okay, this has really changed in me. I started around COVID. I started making YouTube videos for my team, and then one day I was like, I wonder what would happen if I just like made these videos public. And y'all, it exploded, and people loved it, and it just felt good to be able to give back to people, and so that's why I love this YouTube channel. And then what has evolved from it is awesome people that I've gotten to meet from all over the country, team members. I've gotten clients from it. I've just gotten super fans, which if you're one of my super fans, love ya. Right? And it's really opened up an entire new avenue of my business. I will say this because I said this at a conference. I do believe that we're approaching a time when social media it's always optional, but highly recommended. And the reason I say that is because even if your goal in the company is to do in-person things, like I do a ton of in-person parties, love it, girl, do that. I don't need to be on social media because I'm doing all this in-person stuff. But the reality is when you start booking with people you don't know, whether it's a referral or a lead from a bridal fair or a lead from some event you're doing, people are going to go online and they're going to try to find you to make sure that you are legit. One of the things to write down and start in your notes, a lot of people are talking about this online. We are in a major era of what we call a trust recession, where people don't trust anything anymore. There's so, images and things are so easily AI generated. There's fake news, there's exaggerations. Everybody's sort of portraying themselves as this perfect being online. And then, all these news clips, we don't know what's real and what isn't. And so it's incredibly, incredibly important for you in a trust recession that people are going to go online to find you. You had better have something online that they can look at. So if you haven't done this before, go ahead and go to google.com and Google yourself. Type in your name, what comes up when you Google yourself, because that's what those people are going to see when they are looking to book with you. So that's why it's important to have some kind of online presence. Because they're gonna gauge whether they're gonna meet with you based on who you are online. I know it sounds like a lot of pressure, but I'm telling you, I'm gonna give you some tips. It's a lot easier than you think. So I'm gonna give you 5 do's and 5 don'ts. So the first thing to do is to build trust. Okay, so we just talked about a trust recession. The first thing to do is to build trust online. And how do you build trust online? Part of it is showing up frequently, not just consistently, but frequently. Those two words are different things. But also when you're showing up, show up as you. Okay, not the perfect version of you, the truthful and honest version of you. So my second tip I'm just going to give you because it's like 1 and 2 are pretty the same. So my second tip for you is post anyway. Okay, so case in point, I'm wearing this like vacay mode sweatshirt. All of a sudden I was like, I should make this quick video about just social media. I know it would really help some new consultants and people out there. And then I got all in my head. I'm like, I got sunglasses on my head, a bun, right? This is not my ideal hair day. I'm wearing a casual sweatshirt. And then I just thought, you know what? No, it doesn't matter. You guys just like post it anyway. People, I mean, do you care right now? I mean, maybe you're one of those people who's like, hey, I can't believe she's wearing a bun. That's fine. You're not my people, right? Like, I'm speaking to the woman that I want to meet, and she's not perfect all the time because we, as women, it's impossible to be perfect all the time, right? So post it anyways. In fact, here's the good news, you guys. Okay, I want to be real with you for a second. The good news about being in a trust recession is that what people crave is the opposite of what's out there. So if everything out there seems fake, they're not sure if it's true, the more true that something can be, the more people are going to relate to it. So the good news is we don't have to look perfect. We don't have to have the best videography. We might drop a brush in the middle of like doing a get ready with me video. You guys post it anyway. The less perfect, it's actually better if it's not perfect. So just get in a rhythm of like, okay, I'm going to post something today. I'm not going to overthink it because I believe that when we overthink it, we make it about us and not about the person that we are speaking to on the other end of our video or on the other end of our post or however you want to be out there in social media. So post anyways, no perfection. Okay, so that's the second tip. Third tip, this one's my favorite. So I think one of the reasons we struggle with social media is we're always thinking about, well, I don't know how this thing I'm going to post is going to land. And when we picture the post landing, or the video, whatever it is you're doing, we picture this big audience of people. Like, I don't know how they are going to perceive it. They. So we use the word they. I got this tip from a really wise person. I want you to transition from saying they to her, right? You're speaking to her, that one person that's through the camera or through your Facebook or through your Instagram. And I want you to picture that you're talking to her, you're sitting at coffee with her, and she shared something with you, and you're just like talking with her. Like that's how I want you to post online, is you're speaking to her. And so one of the things I like to do is I like to get clear on who she is. Who is your ideal person? For me, I love speaking to women that, they might come from any sort of background, they might be any sort of age, but they just want better for themselves and for their family. And they can show up, they have some grit, they're excited about what they're doing, but they're not perfect all the time because I can't be perfect all the time. I can't like handle that kind of pressure. So just speak to her. And honestly, like when you think of it that way, your content gets so much better because you're speaking to one person and it just helps you just kind of navigate a lot of the pressure that's out there and a lot of the things have to look perfect because you're speaking to her. Okay, tip number 4. This is an easy one. In terms of, well, Emily, like what platform do I get on? I mean, there's TikTok, there's YouTube, there's Instagram, Facebook. There's so many different platforms out there. Which one should I get on? My advice is to pick a platform of your choice and just crush it. You don't have to be good at all of them. My favorite is YouTube. That's why you're here, because I like long form video. I don't know why, it just kind of lights me up. Whenever I have to make a reel or a YouTube short or an Instagram reel, I get so stressed out making like a 3-minute video. I'm like, how could I possibly save the world in 3 minutes? It's not going to happen. I do enjoy it to an extent, but it's just easy to get online and for me and do long form. Maybe you're already on Facebook. Okay, start there. Great. The great thing about Facebook and Instagram is if you have both, you can, have them post to each other, and that makes it really simple. I would recommend, depending on the platform that you choose, even if it's TikTok or whatever, but with Facebook, you can put your profile in professional mode. You just click on your settings and click change to professional mode. I do recommend that. And then you can do that same thing with Instagram too. And so pick a platform and just start showing up on that platform. Don't worry about being good on all of them. So That's a big one. And then the last tip, so this is do number 5, is frequency. It's not about how many likes, it's not about how much engagement at first. Okay, so if you're a new consultant, you're going to start posting. All I want you to think about is I'm just speaking to her. Every time I post, it's not about me, it's not about the likes, it's not about the engagement. I just want to speak directly to whoever she is, because here's what happens when you do that and you stay true to that and you stay true to yourself, and you aren't always trying to sell people on things. Your ideal person starts to hear you, they start to see you, and they will lurk. Okay, I love this expression. Lurking is the new networking. People will lurk on the background of your content for a while, and then they'll start to engage, and then it goes from engagement to reaching out. And that's how you can meet leads online. I actually get a ton of customers and awesome team members because they're, in fact, maybe you're watching my channel right now and you are lurking. I see you, by the way. I see you lurking. You're lurking in the background. Um, kind of creepy sounding, but no, I love it. I love you. Keep lurking. Um, and then they will reach out to you and actually want to work with you. So I think that's the other thing with social media. We think, well, I did a post, nobody liked it, and nothing came from it, so I'm done posting. Okay, girl, I used to do the same thing. Okay. Well, no one liked it and I didn't sell anything from it. It's not about that. It's about building an audience online that then goes from being your online audience to your actual like customers and clients. But you're only going to do that if you are speaking to her and if you are frequently, so this is the 5th tip we're on, frequently showing up online in a not perfect way, building trust. Okay. So that is the gist. And you might be like, well, that's not enough details. Any more details? You don't. You just need to start showing up. Trust me, just start showing up frequently. In fact, give yourself a challenge. I'm just going to show up twice a week for the next 2 months authentically, and I'm going to see what happens. There you go. That's your challenge for me. Just start, okay? Now, in order to maintain what I just talked about and to build an audience online where you're actually getting leads, quote unquote, that are people just like who want to work with you through your business or through as a customer or however they want to work with you, there are some things that we have to not do. Okay, so these are my top 5 please don't do this list in order to maintain trust, in order to speak to her, to crush it on a platform, and to show up frequently. All right, number 1, no mechanically created content. This is what I call it, mechanically created, meaning there are companies out there that make cute little Mary Kay posts about products or whatever, and we can pay them and they'll make these posts and we just like copy and paste them. That is mechanically created. It is not your truth. It is not coming from you. It's perfect most of the time. Now, in defense of it, there was a time when that was a thing. Okay, it wasn't even that long ago. There was a time when that type of content converted and whatnot. But even just me saying that, like people don't want to be converted. They don't want to be a number. They don't want to be a sale or whatever, a transaction. It's all about like that authenticity and having like genuine conversations and building trust and like talking about the hard stuff sometimes in a not perfect way. And you can't do that when you're being mechanically created through the content. Okay, so that is the number 1 big no-no, in my opinion. Okay, I know I'm gonna get comments like, no, Emily, you can't say these things. No, I'm saying it. The second thing, this one's gonna hit a lot of people, and I apologize. I'm saying this gently. Okay, again, remember the apex of what we're talking about is we are in a trust recession. Okay, you have to zig when everyone else is zagging, and the zig right now is everybody's making stuff on AI. Not just people in our business, not just people in our world, all over the dang world, right? So you cannot. I know they're cute sometimes. Those AI generated content, AI generated flyers. I can tell when y'all are posting an AI flyer. AI like renderings of ourselves. I believe, totally my opinion, you do not have to listen to me. Okay. In fact, uncheck the subscribe button if you hate me right now. I get it. But AI generated content does not build trust because nobody trusts the AI right now. Right. And so if you lay into that, now I might change my mind in 5 years and I will eat all my words from this video, but like right now in a trust recession, I think the more you can put your own unaltered photo on everything and anything, the biggest difference, it's going to make the biggest difference for you. So no AI generated content. All right, the third no-no is we cannot copy and paste what everyone else is posting. Okay, now sometimes, especially in the Mary Kay world, there'll be some post that just goes viral. Like it's some like lead generating post or it's some post about a product or it's just some post. And I am friends with so many Mary Kay people. All of a sudden, I'll see this same post 80,000 times, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Now I get it. It's because I'm friends with a lot of people in my industry, so I'm going to see it a lot. But I always think when I see those, what does she think of it? You know, her, the woman we're talking to one on one at coffee through our social media. Like, what does she see? She can tell you didn't write it. She can tell that you copied it. Trust me, she can. Even though you think you're like really clever because you copied and pasted it. No, she can tell. The only time I think there's an exception to this is if you take the concept of the post, rework it so that it's you and put your picture on it, girl, post it. Okay, that's different. But when you're just like, oh, yay, this is cute, copy and paste. Also, the algorithm doesn't like that when we all post the same thing. Also, I always like to think about the originator of that post. What does she think of all of us like taking it and using it, even though she's the creative driver behind that? So yeah, that's just my idea. And then the last little tip or no that I would suggest is we think that when we are constantly selling online, that's how we sell product. And friends, I'm here to tell you that that is so far from the truth, right? Like, it's okay to post about products, but maybe it's like a getting ready with me. Add some value to your content, not just like, here's a Mary Kay product, buy it from me, or here's a lip balm, I really like it, buy it from me. Like if everything that we post is selling something specific instead of adding like a little bit of value, like, oh my gosh, like, so instead of like, oh my gosh, satin lips, cost this much. This is, mechanically created content. It's like, oh, girl, do you have dry lips this time of year? Because mine are insane. And maybe it's just like a quick video of you putting on your satin lip balm. So there's just kind of like different types of things. But I want you, I think, again, if you can anchor yourself in to her, okay? Think about her when you're posting something. What problems is she facing right now? What issues is she dealing with? How can I add value to her? That's how you would start building long-term value from your social media, and you actually start building audience online who loves your content, who wants to join your team and work with you. And that's when it gets really, really fun. So I hope these are some beginner tips. So just pick your platform, start building some trust, just show up. I mean, vacay mode. Who cares? Just show up. It's all good. People love that. And it starts to become fun. I know you don't believe me right now, but I actually enjoy showing up on YouTube. Okay, this is sort of a sub belief that I had. I was like, okay, well, YouTube's my platform. I suck at Instagram and Facebook. But then I was like, well, ding dang it, I can't have that kind of an attitude about it. So I actually started showing up more frequently on Facebook and Instagram. It's been really good. It's actually starting to be fun to show up on those platforms too. So once you crush one platform, be open-minded about some other ones. I'm not there yet with TikTok. I'm on it, but it's sad. I mean, if you want to see what a sad TikTok channel looks like, go ahead and like mine. But that's even the terminology. I'm not that cool. But yeah, anyway, I hope these tips bless you and just kind of get you on your journey to at least just getting started. And in the future, I would love to make some more advanced and have a guest speaker. Not to tease and to give you a teaser, but if you know who Sarah Stevenson is, her and I are going to collaborate on an advanced social media video. So stay tuned for that. And again, thanks for coming to my channel and just hearing me out and hearing some tips to get your social media rocking in your Mary Kay business.